me is that you're not going to be dead. You're going to, yes, you're going to stop you, and it's all going to, we're just going to put you back in the ride again, deprived of your knowledge and wisdom. And we're just going to force you to make the same mistakes all fucking over again. Get the same pimple and get all upset because the girl broke your heart at the prom and go through all the same fucking bullshit all over again. I mean, god damn it. And people celebrate that like, wow,
yeah, I mean,
spectacular. We get to do it all over again and over again. I mean, this is what was ever that movie, Groundhog Day, you know, and Bill Murray keeps trying to kill himself, and we just can't do it. We can't get the job done.
I mean, I don't know. I don't understand that viewpoint. Like the example you just gave with the dog. If the dog is having a good time, you know, chasing its tail, why would you kill it?
Look, a good time, okay? The dog isn't having a good time. Most of the fucking world is living in goddamn fucking shit. Most people are in relationships that are shit. Most people are not fucking deliriously happy. They're on fucking drugs and all the rest of this shit to get through their day. They're fucking drunks. They're fucking all kinds of crap. So why talk like if the dog is happy? The dog of humanity is not a happy dog.
Well, I was just responding to your example there. So
well, it was
I guess my example,
stupid example. So I'm sorry. All right, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the net, fucking product. Okay, not what one individual says. I'm happy, and therefore it's worth 7 billion people who are miserable. We don't even know if we can justify one Holocaust, let alone the centuries of human suffering that have taken place on human Earth. How do you justify 6 million Jews dying in concentration camps, let alone all the rest of the crap for your stupid orgasms?
I don't know about the 30 billion Jews.
And I got a fucking boner, and therefore my life is worth living. Fuck you, it's not worth it.
Well, let me just take a somewhat contrived example and see what your position on that would be. Let's suppose we did create a utopia here on Earth. Let's suppose it's perfect. It's exactly, you know, to the best of our ability. It's that virtual reality that you were contemplating. Now imagine there's another planet somewhere else where it's like present day Earth, where there's suffering, a lot of suffering, and someone has a red button to end the entire universe. You know, they could use the same exact rationale that you just said. Like, what justifies the suffering in this, in this particular planet? Is that joy that they're feeling on that planet over there sufficient to justify all the chaos going on this planet? So you know what I mean? Is it fair for you to make that type of decision for people who are not in that state of suffering?
It doesn't matter. The point is, it's fair to make decisions. You have to make decisions, because making no decision is irresponsible. Okay, not exercising, giving it away, letting nature control it is just preposterously stupid. So some sort of intelligence should apply its influence. So if you have intelligence, you have a responsibility to apply it. And you have to do the best you can to find the best intelligence or the best decision and all that kind of crap. But it's just kind of stupid to say, oh, no, we can't touch the runaway car. It's a runaway car, okay? This whole game, the universe is run by mechanisms as stupid as a runaway car. There's no fucking God. There's no fucking anything running the show. And the point is, further is that in the bottom line is that if you don't take any risk, you have no downside risk. There's no downside risk to no life. Okay? No life doesn't mean the universe is in pain. The universe is saying, oh man, I'm so wish, like the moon doesn't sit there and say, oh, I really wish I could be a human being and get a boner. I mean, the moon isn't lamenting its circumstance and whining and complaining because it can't eat chocolate bars and it can't, chase women and divorce its wife or do this or molest a child or do all this other crap that we're doing. The moon isn't lamenting any of this shit. The universe isn't going to lament our loss or our absence. And the point is that there's a huge downside risk to us existing, which is none of you people can account for exactly how much is enough. So let's say it's not 6 million Jews dying in a Holocaust isn't enough for you to say that's too high a price. What is too high a price? If I make it 6 billion, is it too high a price? What if do I have to make it 600 billion? How fucking high do I have to make the motherfucking price before you'll say, yeah, it's shit? So that's what I'd like to hear from you jackasses who think you're accomplishing something. Exactly how many victims does life have to create? How many elephant men do there have to be before you'll say, yeah, it's not worth the fucking risk?
Well, I don't think you can quantify it like that. I mean, think about it here, because you're trying to...
Well, I'm just saying, if you're saying you can't quantify it, then just shut the fuck up right there, okay? Because you're saying, you can't make a value judgment. I'm saying I can. I can certainly see it. It seems quite obvious to me that I can make broad value judgments. I can't make explicit, narrow judgments, but I can make broad judgments. I certainly know, me personally, if somebody told me, here's a piece of chocolate cake, and here's cholera. Okay, now if you agree to have cholera for 2 weeks, I'll give you the chocolate cake. Now I certainly know that's not a deal I would want. I think I know that no rational human being would ever say, yes, give me 2 weeks of cholera for a piece of chocolate cake. It's a completely irrational value choice. Anybody who makes that choice, you can declare an insane motherfucking shitfuck. Okay? So it's a known, all right? And you're saying, oh, no, I won't go near any such equation. I won't do the mental experiment. Well, I'm saying if you're going to have the conversation, then get in there and play the game the way it's got to be played. So let me hear what you would pay for it. All right? All right? I think it can be quantified in some sort of broad scale, and you can give me some kind of definition where you say there's enough suffering where it's not worth it.
All right. Well, what if I were to tell you that, let's say, in 200 million years, the suffering has reduced to, tolerable levels. We've advanced technology enough where we've pretty much eliminated all diseases. We're able to, fix all kinds of illnesses. We can feed animals so they don't have to slaughter each other. That sort of thing. Does that justify it to you then? Or does it have to be done in a particular time frame before you...
You're saying to me, for what reason? Again, what would be the accomplishment? I'd say that would be really super and fantastic, but I would argue that you have no evidence that that's where humanity is heading. The preponderance of the evidence points to a completely different future where we're going to be half irradiated. Human population is going to be living in uncivilized, dark age civilizations. So that's the more likely reality, is you're going to have a bunch of fucking retards, religious nuts running around with their AK-47 shooting the shit out of each other and raping and pillaging each other all over the fucking goddamn place, and maybe even eating each other. Who the fuck knows what these fucking, glow-in-the-dark green humans will be doing. That's the more likely future. So this idea, let's talk about fairies and well, what if everything's made out of gingerbread and the big happy rabbit pops out of the witch's house and says, yes, you will live happily ever after. I promise you all get to live happily ever after. Even though it was just like in the stories, it was all a pile of crap, we're actually going to make it so you live happily ever after. Well, yeah, it's a nice story, asshole, but there's no evidence we're heading in that direction.
Gary, not even doing that. Well, wait, hold on. Let me just jump in here very, very quickly. Even if that is the direction that we're heading into, the fucking story is still gonna fucking end the same. And people just don't want to grasp that. They want to fucking think that they're going up to fucking the fairy in the sky. Whether you believe in that or whether you believe in whatever else.
I premised my statement with that point, that I still think it would be shit, okay? I said it would be good if you could get there, but I'm just going to still make the argument that that's not even a realistic fable.
Right. And my point was that even if that and I was, and Gary knows that I was always a big fan of fucking transhumanism and everything else. Even if so, bottom line is in a couple billion years the fucking sun's gonna burn out, whether you like it or not. It has nothing to do with it.
Less than 10,000 years, there'll be some other catastrophic event, okay? You're not going to need the sun to burn out. Sunspots, comet impact, these are things very likely to take place within the next 100,000 years.
The thing is, can I talk? The thing is, it's just like to me it sounds like a bunch of whining. I mean, 1 billion years, that's not enough. What the fuck? Where did you guys get these expectations? Was it mom or grandma? Or how the fuck did you get these expectations?
What expectations? What
That life would be great, that you never get sick, that you have all the women you want, all of this shit, that you can't settle for what you do.
Why have any other expectation? I never
Because of fucking reality, man.
Pyro. I come to the logical conclusion that here I've come onto a world, people explain to me these other things feel, I'm watching them suffer, I'm watching three-legged dogs in my backyard, I'm watching shitworms fly out of the dog's ass, I'm watching people burn caterpillars. I'm watching sentient creatures being tortured, have the skin burned off them. I look at my own father's face that was burned off in a chemical accident, okay? And I see it. I see that this is not a safe place. This is a shit fucking hole. Alright, and you assholes think
No, let me tell you what.
had to live this shit. You haven't had the fucking goddamn parasites eat you alive. You haven't had the goddamn brain tumor. You haven't had the goddamn shit yet. And when it gets...
I've been kidnapped. I've had brain surgery. I've had plenty of shit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's why I have fern life, because I've had real misery. So the fucking average that you bitch about is fucking pretty good as far as I'm concerned.
That's still just fucking talk. I don't buy the talk, to tell you the truth.
I think the difference is it's just the defeatist mentality versus the more optimistic.
Oh yeah, right. You know, it's the fucking heroin addict versus the rational intellect. That's what it's about. You want to play little fucking weasel games like that. Oh yeah, you're the courageous assholes marching through your fucking goddamn cesspool with your little waving your little flags like you're fucking accomplishing something. Yeah, we can sit there and just, metaphor each other into as trivial and as silly a position as possible. You're a bunch of little child molesters chasing your little fucking 5-year-old dick through the cesspool because you're so fucking desperate to suck on its little dick one more time. Okay, that's your courage.
The way I see it, it seems like you're arguing this from like two different angles. The one angle is that life itself is meaningless, and it doesn't matter.
It is meaningless, dude. No. There's no angle that you think is meaningless. It is meaningless, dude. Bottom line is, if you get bored, you go from an egg to a fucking plant, and you get...
It's not a fucking created experiment. It's not a refined experiment. It's a fucking goddamn experiment performed by a fucking retard. Okay? A certifiable retard. That's what the universe is. Alright? The universe is every brain, dumbass.
I didn't mean meaningful from a cosmic from a cosmic point of view. I was talking about meaningful to us subjectively. My life
I
is
don't give a
meaningful
fuck
to me.
about any subjective crap anyway, okay? So fuck subjective. Make a logical argument or make no logical argument at all. What it means to you subjectively is not worth arguing.
Well, that's what value's all about. What else is there to value besides the
value
subject?
isn't all about that. Again, if there's nothing else in the universe but one cat with a nail in its fucking head, we don't need any subjective, whiny human beings around to say that's a bad
No, you need
thing.
the cat, which is the subject.
All you need, that's right. And all you need is the fact that it's sentient, and the fact that sentient matters, and that suffering is a real commodity. So if you have enough intelligence to discern that suffering is a real commodity that has real substance and meaning, okay, then you can do the equation, and you don't need any emotional human being to say, I think the kitten's cute and I care about it, or oh, it's a rat, so let's just change it to a rat and put a nail in a rat's head, and okay, now all of a sudden it changes somehow. No, it doesn't change one fucking bit from an intellectual level. It only changes from a subjective level, so fuck subjectivity. It's irrelevant.
When I have had misery, I've never had this idea, hey, the whole world should die because I'm the one miserable person. I sort of had a feeling of I should do something to stop feeling miserable, or maybe people should help me. But the whole idea that, oh, the whole world should die because I'm a cat and I got a nail in my head. I mean, what the fuck? Why should the whole world die because I feel suffering?
That's not the
Well,
point. Right.
Can I just pose, Gary, can I just give you...